All right, let's get started. I'm going to show you a system to make $10,000 a month or more selling web design. Now, my name is Emmanuel. I freelanced full time and traveled the world, and then I started a creative agency. Now, I didn't make my first $10,000 online through web design. I did it through social media management, but I am now a coder. I am now a software engineering student, super interested in web design. So I thought, hey, I'm going to show you exactly how I would do it if I was doing it again in web design. So today, I'm going to keep it short and sweet, but give a ton of value. And I'm going to explain these 5 things. So first off, we're going to define your niche. We're then going to build out the core offer. And I'm going to show you the best way as a beginner to build out and sell a site. Then how we can actually add recurring revenue, how we can book sales calls and make you money. And finally, I'm just going to touch on how we can productize your systems so that we can turn this into a business, how you can stop exchanging your time for money and provide value in exchange for money. First off, let's define your niche. Now, why is this important? First off, if you don't know what niching down means, it means targeting a specific segment of the market. Now, specializing allows you to stand out in a crowded market. There's so much web design, there's so much competition. You can go onto Fiverr, which is a freelance platform, and literally buy websites for like 50 bucks. So, how do we stand out? How do we provide value? How do we showcase that we are the right service that these people need? Well, we want to niche down. Let's imagine that you're a lawyer, right? And I'm offering you web design, and this other company is offering you web design. This other company, company B, is massive. It does a bunch of different websites for uh, cooks, for life coaches, for lawyers, for contractors, etc. I'm a smaller company. I may not have that many more testimonials compared to that big company, but I come in and I'm like, hey, I actually specialize in family practice law websites. Here are 2 websites. These are exactly what it could look like, and this is how it makes you more money. Well, by niching down, by being the number one solution to the specific niche's problem, I stand out, I feel trustworthy, and people want to buy with me. So, how do you actually how do you decide which niche to pick? Well, you want to identify your strengths. You want to identify which industries you have interest or experience in. For example, I work in marketing for a mortgage broker. That means that I'm always in contact with real estate agents. I'm always in contact with real estate brokers, with notaries, with lawyers. So whenever I decide if I want to start a website design in one of those niches, it's going to be easier for me because I know their terminology. I know where they get leads. I know the partnerships they form. I know what their goals are, how they want to help their clients. So it's going to be easier for me to create rapport with that niche. In your case, it can be whatever. Like if you've worked with e-commerce stores, you could create e-commerce websites. If your dad's friend is a plumber and you sort of know how that industry works, then why not offer websites to plumbers? Anyway, decide on your niche, and that brings us to step number 2, which is building out the core offer, which is the site. So I'm going to show how I would do this as a beginner. If you are a professional coder or you're really good at creating websites or Shopify websites or etc., you can skip straight to the acquisition section of this video, which is going to be very useful. If you're a beginner, you don't know necessarily what the best way to sell websites is, then I would recommend going with Go High Level, which is a service that it's a white level marketing service that offers multiple different, try to move this, that offers multiple different types of marketing. One of those is website design. They have a bunch of different services right here that you can white label, and sell to businesses and actually add on to your website that I'm going to touch on later. Now, in this case, let's say that you are a beginner, you don't necessarily know how to start a website. I'm going to click on websites and from templates. Go High Level already has a ton of integrated templates that you don't actually have to build yourself. So this is where it's important that you choose your niche beforehand, because if I scroll down, they have marketing agency websites, travel websites, link trees, real estate agents, landscaping, roofing, etc. There's a ton. In this case, I started a sub account called Gavel to imagine as if I was going to target and offer web design to lawyers. So I'm going to click on legal. I'm going to scroll down, and there's a ton of different website templates. I can pick whichever one I find interesting. Let's say right here, injury attorney. I'm going to look at it. Once it loads, I can see what it looks like. I think it looks all right. I may have to touch on it. I might have to upgrade certain parts before I actually present it to clients. But I'm going to click on continue, and I'll be able to see and edit the website. Now, these templates are huge. Why? Because I can actually reach out to businesses and tell them that I already made them a website. and I can just customize it by adding their logo and by adding some text, and they're going to see that on the sales call and be like, whoa, instead of every single other company who's asking me for $3,000 and who isn't showing anything, this guy right here is already showing me the website that he made, and all I have to do is pay him, and I'm going to get it like this. So we'll get there eventually, but this is what it looks like. You can edit everything. You can edit the text, the background, you can add your forms, add your integrations, you can add AI chatbots to increase your recurring revenue. There's a ton of things you can do. It's completely optimized for mobile. It has different pages. So let's say that I want to see their contact page instead of their homepage. It's great. These look good and these are already made. And even if you want to customize it, let's say you want to offer a higher price point where they pay you to customize your website, then you can do that too. You can completely customize this yourself. So that is how I would build out the main offer of the website. There's a ton of tutorials on YouTube on how to exactly build out a website with high level. You can use my affiliate link in the description to actually sign up and get your first 30 days free. And doing that, you'll be able to actually try to sell websites without spending any money. And I will be making more videos, more systems on how you can actually build these out and how you can sell them in an ideal way. But today, I'm focusing on acquisition and more of the overall structure than just the website design. Now, the other reason of why I love high level is because you can actually offer recurring revenue. And I'm going to showcase why recurring revenue is important, meaning why it's more important to get recurring revenue every single month than it is to sell a lump sum site. So I'm going to use the Loom tool to draw here. And let's imagine two options, right? So option one is you are going to sell a $3,000 lump site. You know, people always draw on this and make it look super easy, but it's really hard to draw on a PC screen. So $3,000 plus, I don't know, $30 a month for hosting. So that's option one. Option two is you say no to the lump site and you actually decide to sell, let's just say a free site. All right, let's just imagine that. It doesn't have to be free. Maybe it's $100, maybe it's $300 when you get better. You offer a free site, but you focus on monthly recurring revenue. So let's say you sell something for $97 a month. Let's imagine the difference in price. Option one, $3,000. It's really hard to sell because a lot of businesses don't have $3,000 laying around for their new website. Option two is you arrive to businesses and you say, hey, I've got this website. It's already made for you. It's completely free. And all you have to do is pay me $97 a month for all these other services that I'm going to offer you. It's a lot more of an easy sale. And if we look at this on a longer time horizon, let's say that the LTV, the lifetime value of a customer, they stay for 10, 12 months, paying $100 a month, that's over $1,000 for that customer. Except they were so much easier to sell to because you were just pitching them a $100 service. So how many more sales are you going to get compared to that $3,000 service? A lot more. But then the question is, how can you actually charge $97 a month? Because you can't just offer hosting for $97 a month. It's not going to be enough. You can't be like, hey, I'll keep your website up here for $97. No one's going to pay that. And that's where Go High Level comes in because it's great to offer these recurring services. As I said, you can white label a ton of these services, and this is what we're going to do. If you're offering website design, you could offer, for example, a chatbot. So there's this section right here called AI agents where you can create a chatbot and add it onto their website and personalize it for them. That's going to help them get more leads. It's going to help them book more appointments. So you're actually contributing to the revenue of that business and making it an easy sale. Something else you can do is reputation management. So this is where people, let's say I'm looking up lawyers, I have it right here, lawyers Santa Cruz, right? What people do when they look up lawyers on Santa Cruz is they look at the Google Maps and they scroll down and you can see all these reviews. You can see how many reviews they have, if it's 4 stars. Let's say this guy right here, lawyer referral service. Well, that's a referral, so it's probably not the best one. Let's scroll down and find one that doesn't look as good. You know what's good right now is that these lawyers have a lot of good reviews. Well, let's say one right here. Even if they have 5-star reviews, they don't have that many. They have 8 reviews when they definitely have more than 8 clients. So if I worked with them, I could say, hey, I'm going to get you so many more reviews that you're going to rank higher on Google Maps and get you more clients. So what they do is they provide me a lead list. I input it to Go High Level, and we're going to launch a text campaign, which is going to go out to every single person and get them more reviews. Also, one of my favorites, since I've experience in marketing, is the social planner. So you could offer this as like a third pricing tier where you could be like, hey, I'll create your website for free. I'll host it for 50 bucks a month. But if you want, there's this third tier where since I have experience in marketing, I'm going to connect your Facebook, your Instagram, your TikTok, your YouTube, and I'm going to help you make content. I'm going to do your social planner, and we're going to do this for $500 a month. And bam, that's another client, $500 plus hosting, plus the website every single month for barely any work at all if you know what you're doing. Anyway, I'm going to make more systems on exactly what you can offer with Go High Level because I think it's a tremendous service that you can just add onto your websites. And if you want to start a business, if you don't know what to offer yet, it's a great way to do it. But as I said, today I want to focus on the actual acquisition and how you can scale your site, you scale your business to up to $10,000 a month. So to do that, regardless if you code, regardless if you use Go High Level, regardless what service you offer, you have to book sales calls. Now, one of the easiest ways to do that is cold calling. And I'm going to get into that in a little bit, but I just wanted to showcase a ton of the different acquisition methods you could use. We got cold calling, cold emailing, cold SMS, cold DMs. That's how I made my first few $1,000s online in social media management through cold DMs on Instagram. You got paid ads, organic content, partnerships, walk-ins, and local events. So you might want to take a screenshot of this. All of these work, but cold calling, if you're at home, you're not sure what to do to get clients, and you have your phone, it's one of the easiest ways to do it. What we're going to do is we're going to use the Go High Level website templates. We're going to go onto Google Maps. We're going to call people and we're going to say, hey, I made you a website. Would you like to see it? Now, you might be panicking inside and being like, shit, I don't want to cold call people. But if you don't want to cold call people and you want a business that makes you over $10,000 a month, it's going to be hard to do it if you don't have the balls to go out and cold call and you're just nervous. Like you have to do something difficult because if it was easy, then everyone would do it. So I would scroll down. I'd find businesses that don't have their websites, and I would call them. Um, these all have it, but I'm just gonna guess. I'm gonna click on her. But a lot of these lawyer sites or contractor sites are really outdated. This one's not too bad, but you could still improve it. So I could reach out and I could be like, "Hey, I've made this template. Uh, it's going to get you more leads than the website you have right now. Do you mind if I just show it to you?" And a lot of times they're going to say yes, because what do they have to lose? And then you might sell them. Or you can scroll down and find some without websites. You can also use lead scraping tools. Which one is it right here? Instant data scraper. I don't think you're going to see it with the Loom, but basically it can scroll all of these. You can put this in an Excel sheet and just import the ones that you need into Go High Level, where you can actually use the calling tool to call them right here. Now, you might be thinking, okay, well, that's great, but what do I actually say? Well, here's an example cold calling script because you want to find your unique proposition. I'm a software engineering student, so that's what I lead with. Say, hey, this is Emmanuel. My mom's friend Julie referred me over to you guys. Do you have a minute? And then they'll say, yeah, what for? Or they'll say, who's Julie? And then you got to say, oh, it's a friend. She's looking for a lawyer. Anyways. And I'd say, sweet, well, I'm a software engineering student and I had to make a real business website for class. Julie sent me your info, so I made it for you guys. It'd look good on my portfolio if it went live. Would you be interested in checking it out? Now, there's a ton of different approaches you can take. You can offer free websites. You can be like, hey, I'm just trying to start my first business. Or you can just come out and say, hey, I made you a website. But you want to find your unique proposition so that way you get more calls booked and you feel like less scammy because it feels more human when you're calling them. Like, I love this because I'm just like, hey, I made it. I had to do it for class and I just love to give it to you if I could help you out. And then once on the sales call where you're wanting to sell your actual recurring service. Now, once you get on the sales call, so when you talk to them on the phone, you're going to get their email, you're going to get their phone number, you're going to book a time. Once you're on the sales call, you're going to ask questions because you want to help the business. You want to actually provide value to them. You don't want to just sell something that's not going to help them. And it's going to be so much easier to sell if you know their situation. So I would ask questions, let's say for lawyers. How do you get your leads? Where do most of your leads come from? Do you have any partnerships? Have you tried SEO? Do you have a website? Have you tried website design? Like, what works better for you? What's your ideal target that you're trying to reach, your ideal lead that you want to work with? Because all these answers are going to let me create an offer for them that's going to help them more. And it's going to make my service easier to sell because it's going to seem like it's targeted exactly towards them. Next up, I'm going to showcase the site. Now, let's say I'm in Go High Level and I head over to the website tab right here. All right, my Wi-Fi just bugged out, but here we are. You're in the site tab and you clicked on the website that you just made for them. Once that's done, you can actually open it in your own little hosted tab and you'll have personalized it with their logo, with their information. You're going to scroll down and you can showcase them their website. And it's so much easier to sell. You can either put their form in and show them how it's going to help them, put an AI chatbot in and show us how it's going to help them. And then from there, all you have to do, because they're definitely going to want the website, all you have to do is upsell your recurring services. Be like, hey, Website's free. I'd love to host it for you, and I can also offer you a few marketing services for 97 bucks a month. And it's nothing for them. You know, this is a business, and this is 100% going to get them more leads. So it's an extremely easy sale. Finally, you're going to collect payment and remove as much risk as you possibly can. If you're just starting out and you don't have that many testimonials, well, you can offer 50% down at the start, 50% after you deliver the website. You can offer a free month of recurring revenue to see if they like it. You can find the offer that works for you. Finally, after you've sold it, you want to after you get a few clients, you want to actually productize your systems. That means that you want to, instead of doing custom work, you want to sell a repeatable solution, meaning that you want to make it easier to sell, you want to make it easier to deliver and scale. Because if you do custom work for everyone and you don't have systems and you're always trying to like outreach yourself and do these sales calls and design all at the same time, it makes it really hard to scale and to actually hit that first $10,000 a month. So you're going to have to build out systems, and I'll touch on these on more videos. I just wanted to touch on it now. It's really important to create systems, to stop doing custom work, and to do something that you can actually scale over time. So that was the system to how to hit $10,000 a month selling web design. Next up, I'll be making videos on how to consistently acquire clients, how to productize your offer, a system to sell social media management, and etc. A ton of videos like that. So follow along to see some more.